I always thought that human beings sucked at running compared to other animals in the animal kingdom, until I watched this video. It's a 100-kilometer race between a lion, a human, a camel, a horse, a wolf, a cheetah, an ostrich and a bear. And I think it points out some very interesting facts about what it means to be a human being and how we survived as hunter-gatherers. As we arrive at the 500-meter line, there is no surprise. The cheetah wins. Of course, the cheetah is the fastest known land animal roaming the planet today and can run up to 130 kilometers an hour. And the human is of course very last. At the 5-kilometer line we have our first surprise. The ostrich wins it. And the human is so far behind he's not even in the picture anymore. At the 35-kilometer line the human has taken over every other animal in the race except the camel and the horse, who closely wins the race at 35 kilometers. It is approximately 1.60 kilometers that the human takes first place and finishes the 100 kilometers first, while the cheetah is still at the half marathon mark. So how is this possible? Now, human beings have a secret weapon when it comes to long distance endurance. And that's our ability and our efficiency to sweat. We have 2 to 4 million sweat glands on our body, which allows us to run while we're cooling ourselves down. Of course, having no fur is a major advantage. If you've ever seen a dog run on a hot day, you would have seen that his way of sweating is actually panting. And so arguably a dog is faster than a human on a short distance, depending on the breed, but they have no chance against us the longer the distance is. So why do I bring this up? I believe that humans have evolved to be long distance athletes. We have quite a flexible neck that allows us to balance when we run. We have hips that allow us kind of to swivel our legs forward in a pretty efficient manner. And we have connective tissues like our Achilles tendon that allows us to get some energy return when we hit the ground. And I think that we have a very deep connection to the sport. Running is the way we have survived as hunter-gatherers, when you think about it. If you compare us to other animals out there, we are literally at the bottom of the food chain. I mean, we're definitely not the fastest, as we saw in the animation, on short distances. We are extremely weak and vulnerable in terms of strength and power. The only thing that sets us apart is our intelligence and our ability to sweat, so our ability to go for a long time. And so many experts believe that tracking animals over a very long distance was our survival mechanism. We hunted wild game, maybe injured them, and then chased them for so long until they were so exhausted and couldn't go anymore. But then humans invented agriculture and farming, and so we eliminated the need to hunt animals over a long distance. And running kind of died down. In fact, running as a sport didn't really exist until the 1960s. Jogging was, for the most part, inexistent until then. But then, this happened.
In today's mechanized world, most of us lead physically inactive lives. We drive to stores that we could have walked to. Making yourself physically fit will develop your cardiovascular system along with the respiratory system. It can not only control the waistline, but prolong your life. Jogging is one activity that leads to physical fitness. It takes little equipment. Just jogging shoes and a place to jog. Shoes support and protect your feet. They also distribute your weight between the heel and forepart of the shoe.
All of a sudden, running took off. Especially in the United States, jogging went through a huge transformation. It is estimated that some 25 million Americans, including President Jimmy Carter and of course Forrest Gump, started running in the 70s.
For no particular reason, I decided to go for a little run. So I ran to the end of the road, and when I got there, I thought maybe I'd run to the end of town.
President Carter, suffering from heat exhaustion, fell into the arms
And when I got there, I thought maybe I'd just run across Greenbow County. And I figured since I run this far, maybe I'd just run across the great state of Alabama. And that's what I did. I ran clear across Alabama.
The boom was building on a post-World War II trend towards non-organized, individualistic, health-oriented physical and recreational activities. And of course, there was a strong commercial interest with Nike and other brands pushing advertisement and reaping the huge profits of this movement. Frank Shorter's victory in the 1972 Olympics is often credited for inspiring the whole boom in the United States. And today, in 2024, we have every iteration of running races out there. We can participate in 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, we have orienteering races, triathlons, walking events, vertical races, sky running, desert marathons, stage races, ultra marathons, relay runs, charity races, night runs, and even themed runs like color runs. So what's happening here? Why are there so many different grueling mud and adventure races out there today? And I think Rich Roll said it best in his podcast with Dean Karnazes, who is a famous ultramarathon runner.
I think it's because we've drained our daily existence from strain and toil. We've created these air-conditioned castles that we live in, and we're constantly being bombarded with these messages that the path to happiness is lined with luxury and ease and comfort and, you know, a flat screen TV and the like. And that is not perpetuating happiness and fulfillment and purpose, but rather creating a mass epidemic of depression and disconnection and disaffectation. We have all of these people who are incredibly unfulfilled in their professional and personal lives in a way that I think is unprecedented in human history, and it is an ill that is endemic to the most modern of societies. And these events are like the antidote to that in some way. They're a way for people to step outside of this construct that we've created and tap into something primal and real that makes us human beings.
God bless you. That was really well stated. I mean,
That was a question.
That was
question.
poetry there, people. I couldn't have said that better. That was poetry. I mean,
Yeah,
I couldn't
but
agree with you more, Rich.
I don't know about you, but I can definitely relate to what Rich Roll is saying here. Up until 5 years ago, I never went on runs. I was addicted to alcohol and weed and tobacco. I was depressed, and clearly I was quite unhappy. But then a friend of mine signed me up for a trail running event in the mountains, and it completely changed my life. Ever since, it has been a regulator for my mood and for my mental health. Every time I have depression creeping up on me, some anxious periods that we all have in our lives, I just put on my shoes and go for a run outside without any music, just listening to nature and feeling my heartbeat. And that reminds me that I'm human, and that fulfills me completely. It recharges my batteries, and when I come back, I'm a different person, and it works every single time. And so I made this video not only to share a message about the history of running, but also hoping to inspire you to start your own journey. Because we often have that friend who says,
Do you run?
Yeah,
How many times a week?
like three or four times maybe.
I'm gonna pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket. I myself, at least twice a day.
Wow,
Once in the morning, right after I work out, and then once right after lunch.
really?
Okay? I want to. That's not why I do it. I do it because I fucking need to.
but the truth is, you don't have to run a certain pace to be a runner. And you certainly don't have to post your runs on Strava. I actually stopped Strava because I was constantly comparing myself to others, and it changed my perspective and my relationship with the sport of running. Now I just run for myself. I go out there because I want to, and I go out there because I need to, because it helps me regulate everything else in my life. It's like the first building block of my habits. When I go for a run, there's so many positive things that happen in my life. So I hope this inspires you to put on your shoes today and go for a little run. I'm going to go after this video. Stay wild in. Peace.